today we're looking at the new Apple Vision Pro glasses. Rich has been looking at this in a lot of detail over the last couple of days, and he's trying to answer the question, unbelievable opportunity to build for the platform, and now's the time to do it, or absolute fad, total waste of time. I've got no idea, but I think Rich has got the answer. Stay tuned in to find out. So, before we get into the Apple, what are they called again? The Apple Pro...
Vision Pro. So Vision is the name of the new operating system, like iOS and Mac OS. It's Vision OS. Yeah.
Got it. Vision OS. All right. Before we do that, I want to get your opinion on something. So we're doing a lot of outreach. We've just started doing some outreach at our agency, and we do like videos. We'll look at someone's website and we'll say, you know, your site's a bit shit. Yeah, this is how we can help it. And I had this idea. You know, when you get an idea that you're convinced is a good idea, I get this all the time. And then I'll tell people and they're just blank, looking at me blankly as if, what are you talking about? Why? Yeah. So I've got this idea of what we could do at the start of these videos. And I just want you to tell me, no, Doug, you onto something, or kill it. It's a joke and never think about it again. So the person doing the outreach videos is called Caroline Ferraris. And it's very hard in the first 20 seconds of the video to hook someone. So I said, Caroline, why don't you try this? Why don't you go, hi, whoever we're doing the video for. Hi, John. Caroline Ferraris here. Yep, Ferraris, like the Ferrari, and then like some Ferrari comes across the screen. And then she goes, but I'm not here to talk about high-performance sports cars, here to talk about more revenue for your website. You're giving me the look. Shall we just, is that dead?
I mean, I would absolutely probably like strap maybe like grenades about here, pour a bit of napalm on as like hair gel and just explode that idea. But then again, I mean, it depends on the delivery. I think it's cheesy. I'd kill it.
It's dead. I think what worries me sometimes...
Is that your whole campaign now? If I just completely kibosh 2 days worth of work?
No, definitely not. She's been doing it without that. She's done like 50 videos that are really good. But I was just like, oh, is there a way of like hooking people at the start of the videos a little bit more? And then I was convinced for about 3 hours in my head that was the right thing to do. And I told her, and she was like, oh, that sounds good. But I thought maybe she's just being polite. And then I told a few other people, and they were like, that sounds awful. Sorry,
I think it's about delivery. I don't know if it's like zoom in across or whether it should just be like snap in, snap out, or a look or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. Sorry.
No, I think that's what I expected. Okay. Let's get into the Apple glasses. So
yes.
Can you tell, I mean, everyone I'm sure has heard of this, product. Can you just give us 45 seconds on what they are, what they do?
Yeah, so mixed reality goggles, glasses, ski mask, whatever you want to call, but it's a wearable device that sits across your face, much like you've seen those, I guess, Facebook's Quest that was Oculus Rift and everything from a mobile phone strapped into a cardboard box. So this is mixed reality, so it's got the ability to do VR and AR, so it's kind of opaque, and also you can see through it. So you could be sitting there next to the sofa being able to see your mate wearing these ski goggles, littered with technology. I mean, this is like very, very impressive stuff. Really,
give me an
impressive.
example, like what could be in your field of vision, like the weather, or like your WhatsApp screen, or like the sports news.
So it's because it's an OS, it's powered by an operating system. It's a bunch of apps that sit inside the operating system that are built and designed for that experience. So everybody's probably seen by the time this goes out the videos that go with it, but it's everything from the internet. You can look at your notes, you can run your Google meetings through it, you can do all of that because they're applications built to appear on the screen that you're seeing through it. So applications like all the things you'd get with a standard phone or iOS, but for that spatial experience.
Okay. All right. And the thing that you think is really interesting is the fact that it's an operating system and that you can build for that operating system. Can you just explain that?
Familiarity of it. If you've built for iOS and you've built for Mac OS, the tooling's the same. It's built in Swift. It's built in Unity. These are frameworks and tools that we've used for years to build for these mobile stuff, and therefore that I guess that level of consistency and that level of standardization is going to make it great for developers to think creatively, or teams to think creatively about what can you do with inside of that tool set. And I think that's what I really like about it.
How much harder is it to build something in that, do you think, than it would be just to build like an app for a smartphone? It's going to be way more difficult.
Yeah, to a degree, yeah. But I think if you're a Unity engineer or you're capable of building Swift, it's the same stuff. When you build a game for a flat screen, you're just building a game to live 3D with inside the space, which is about how it's delivered. I think this is now going to be one of the easiest ways to build AR and VR content because the tooling is standardized. If you wanted to go and build something for HoloLens in 2018-19, which is Microsoft's thing, it was a right pain in the neck. And we built a VR CMS system in 2016, right? And that's a long time ago. It was a nightmare to even just get 3D experiences. So this stuff is just next level. It's great. I like the look of it.
Okay. And so are these, they're being sold now? You can buy them? Or
No, early next year.
When are they coming out?
Early next year, yeah.
Okay, fine. And have Apple opened up this operating system? Like, could people start developing these apps for them now?
So the software development kit comes next month. So I've already spoken to our head of immersive and like, right, let's get on this. Let's go and see what's possible. Because we do things in Unity already. And I don't know, Apple makes such good hardware. I just think if anyone's going to pull it off, they've got a very good chance of pulling it off.
Okay. So let's assume then that this is a good opportunity.
Yeah.
You've got 3 ideas of
I've got
what
3
you could
use
build.
cases. Yeah, 3 use cases that I think go beyond, because they're pushing productivity.
What's the difference between a use case and an idea? Just so we...
Why would you bother using this thing? Use case. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
a broader idea could be about immersion, right? Let's get an immersive experience. But what's the use case for that? Great. We'll sit there and I'm on a beach. Great.
All right. I'm in semantics. But you did specify use case versus idea. I just wanted to. I'm still not 100%. But look, let's just get into the 3 things.
Right. So if you've been to an art exhibit, right, where they pump out that kind of like very, very soft synthetics, maybe the odd beat to it kind of music, right? And I was thinking about evolution.
Like paintings on the walls. Sorry,
yeah, you hear the music and they kind of like pump smells to you and you can hear the music coming and you're like, I feel like I'm in an art exhibit, when you listen to a certain amount of music that way. And I was just thinking, you think about mindfulness or you think about calm or you think about all of the people that are dealing with psychology. I mean, they actually mention mindfulness on the primary video. But experiential art exhibits, like the Tate or people like that, they could be building art exhibitions that are sold as apps inside the iOS app with their Vision Pro app system where you put it in. And the beautiful thing about this thing is, right, it's got a varied level of immersion because of the way they've done the tech. You can watch a screen or you can completely black out what's around you. So you can completely check it. So the example on there about the mindfulness is that you've got, they're putting these floating orbs around you. And because it's all so soft and you've got spatial audio for the first time, I think our art exhibits, experiential kind of things like that would be a very, very interesting app to be launching, or at least the basis of, yes, we've done it for the Tate, yes, we've done it for this, yes, we've done it for that. So maybe not singularly do it. Could you produce the platform that produces art apps for the app store? So very basic. Yep. Probably everyone's like, yeah, of course, dickhead. Of course, that's obvious. Great.
No, but that's a good entry to it. To just that's completely different to doing that on your phone. That's just a completely different way of interacting, right? So yeah. I think it makes a ton of sense. Yeah,
and I think you can, with inside of that, you want to be able to trigger the senses of people. That's audio, it's visual, I think this device will probably be the best out there to do it. And I think things like Calm and meditation apps, they should be looking at it. I mean, meditation tends to shut your eyes, so maybe not. Second one is I was thinking about music. I was thinking about live events, and this all depends on how they're videoed, on how they're recorded. But there's massive developments in how you can actually shoot 3D content or 360 content or content that's quite immersive. And I think that if you could find a way to record the footage in its instance, and you could stream that experience to a headset such as that, or be able to have cameras in different areas inside of a live music event, I think that would be incredibly immersive. Imagine Glastonbury that isn't on YouTube or Glastonbury that isn't on BBC, and you're actually sitting there and you're watching it. You're interacting. I'm just going to go and watch, I don't know, Elton John, and you go in and you do it, and the quality's got to be there to come into the glasses. But the way that they've got the audio, the way that the level of immersion is triggered, and the way you can come in and come out of that app, there's got to be something to do with leveraging live events or some form of experience. Because one of the things that they showed on there was recording 3D video. So you might want to record your Cocker Spaniel or your King Charles Spaniel running around the garden in 3D. Then that video isn't just a flat video that you look at it. When you watch it through the glasses, it's 3D as though you saw it. There's something quite, I don't know, not emotional, but quite impressive about that, because you could see it in so much more lifelike than it is on a 2D screen. So there's two. The last one is a bit more of a business, and we were talking about travel and tourism, right, the other week. And we did pilot this a long time ago, in 2016, 17, about tours and immersion, and about how people can go and discover about things that they want to do. This is only at the moment piloted inside of the house, and I can understand why, because you don't want to necessarily walk around with a ski mask on your face down Peckham High Street. But there is going to be, I would imagine there's opportunities for any tour company to be able to say, okay, we'll go and look at the destination and go and discover what the Great Wall of China is. And you can have 3D videoed experience where you look around. The good thing about this thing, you control it with your eyes. Where you want to look and what you want to toggle, you look at it. So imagine if you were in, I don't know, some pub from your dad's murder tours that we talked about a while back, and you're looking around this pub and you've got this footage and it's videoed, and you can move forward like a Matterport video. You can move forward, you can look, and you're looking at that and you click on it and it can give you information. Never before has that been possible in VR. Before, you've got to have controllers. This is just literally, you look at it and you pinch with your fingers. It's got sensors underneath to know that you're pinching it. None of this all really robotic stuff. So I think there's got to be something around tourism. There's got to be something around travel. There's got to be something around a layer of content about a destination that you are not in, and it's consumable. So we were looking at, where to go in North America, right? For example, want to go and check out Austin. Well, if I go and check out Austin, I'm going to go and read listicles. I'm going to go and read Wikipedia. That's how I'm going to go and get my information about South Congress and what it's like. Well, wouldn't it be great if some immersive content was created as an application around Austin or as a group application, and then that's how I could lock in. I'm going to go to South Congress and I'm going to see what South Congress is like. That is way better than a listicle with a picture saying this is what South Congress is like. So I think there's something around tourism for sure. Again, it's about the quality of information in, because this thing can only display. So how good these apps are, how good this content is, will be a big thing. But I think, looking at art, I think looking at live event, and I think tourism were immediately jumped out of the page as potential opportunities. I've got loads of ones for what this could be when it goes out of the home, but I don't think it's quite there yet, because I don't think people are going to be walking around with a Gen 1 goggle on their face, even though it's got a battery pack. If they do, and that does get to the point where it shrinks down, I've got like a couple of business plans.
Pretty fascinating. What about if it's all in home? Like, how good would it augment a meeting? Like, how much better is it going to make a team meeting?
Yeah. So the augmentation is quite interesting. It's got cameras on the inside to spatially reconstruct your face as an avatar. So when we could be doing this now, I could be walking around my house. You would see me sitting somewhere with an avatar that directly replicates my face.
Because I think the meeting stuff is a huge opportunity, because I think people are absolutely drained by Zoom calls and Google Meet calls. I actually think it's probably way more damaging psychologically than has been proven yet. But the work from home thing is going to stay there. So if there's a world where we can remove some of that fatigue of just talking at a screen, and that was a good experience, that would be amazing. Because if I feel like I could go into a boardroom and chat to people rather than just sit looking at my laptop, I would be all over that.
I mean, that's like metaverse stuff, right? Where you're placed in simulated environments, virtual environments. There will be simulated virtual spaces that come from this. But I think from what my understanding is from seeing the video, you put it on and it's reading using sensors, reading your face, and what it projects via the app to Google or to Zoom is your face in an environment. But I literally could be downstairs doing my chopping my veg. But it's simulated the same there. No, but you're still in the meeting, and it does remove that fatigue. Like normally, I like to get up and walk around, but on a video call, I can't. If I'm on a phone call, I walk up and down the house constantly because that's how I think. And I think I think it's quite an interesting progression, particularly because you can see through it, because it's mixed reality and it's not VR. Because VR you're in, but this you go from visible to invisible, and that is superb. That is really interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Well, look, I think we need to come up with some immediate business ideas. I think we need another pod where we unpick some more ideas. I think all of the use cases that you said, I now understand what you mean, use case versus idea. I think they're all pretty interesting. It would be really do you think this is one of those markets that we really are, like, this is something like a little bit like AI at the moment? Like there's a window of just move, where you get this first mover advantage and you kind of get in, and you win all of you get the brand play and you win all of the kind of subscribers early? Or do you think it's just too early? For that, you need to wait for like later versions? I think people should be moving now.
I think people have been moving in the VR and AR AR space for about 10 years. I think this is the first time a superb builder of product with the capital and the capability that Apple have to go and do it properly. I think this one is not first entry to market. I think this is the one that could begin to define the market. And I think that's key. It's a bit like, I'm not saying it's going to be as revolutionary as the mobile phone for what it's done there, but to be able to build apps for a stable OS system with the technology that even the Gen 1 device has got. Imagine Gen 5, Doug. It's going to probably be the size of your glasses. And then you're talking about, I'm walking outside. And if you're walking outside, then there are ridiculous.
How many years until my glasses have got that built in?
5. Judging by Apple, so I would argue that in 5 years' time they would have compressed all of that chip technology and those sensors into something more like that, as opposed to more of a. And it's not bad now. It's not bad now at all. I'm sure we'll get one because we want to get one and play around with the developer kits and everything else like that. But I just think if it's as polished as it looks, and it's by far the most polished AR device I've seen, then I'm excited by it because I like this stuff. I like the idea of boundaries being pushed. Not sure if I really like me wearing these glasses out in 10 years out in the street and getting constantly bombarded by notifications. I can't get away from it. But I think we should look at some ideas, potential proper business ideas, not just use cases. Now we've had time to consider it a bit and come at one time in the future and just say, listen, I've been considering this. This is a Vision Pro business idea. Let's go and do it.
I know a lot more about this idea than I did 15 minutes ago. And I'm sure anyone listening did as well. So I think it was useful, Rich.
Good
to chat to you. Not sure how we round these off, Meg. Meg's our producer on this, and she's up in my grill about better intros, better outros. So I really would need to think about it. What could be a good outro?
I don't know. When at work, I salute. This is my outro.
I actually quite like that.
I just did that naturally once during COVID when we started the COVID company videos. We stopped at COVID-19 and renamed them after that because we've got a sense of humour. But I just said thank you very much and sign off. And that's how I did it, and it just stuck, and I do it naturally. So,
Let's go for it.
Yeah, right. Ready then? Lovely to see you, Doug. Take care.
Thank you very much.